So much going on in this transfer window, and as usual, Chelsea spending a lot of money. In fact, over £250 million already, James. Are they done?
It's been an eye-catching summer, hasn't it? They've done plenty of business, and they want to sign two more forwards in the form of Alejandro Garnacho from Manchester United and Xavi Simons at RB Leipzig. In talks to sign these two players, discussions are ongoing. There are good relationships between Chelsea and Manchester United, and Chelsea and RB Leipzig. They've already signed the likes of Liam Delap, João Pedro, Jamie Gittins already in this window, but there will be more signings. But at the same time, Chelsea were fined by UEFA in July for breaching financial rules. They've agreed with UEFA to balance their transfer spending this summer. So basically, they can sign players, but they can only sign players if by the end of the summer they have a positive value. So they're not inflicting or going against any of the rules whatsoever. They have to have a positive value by the end of the summer. And that means there is going to be plenty of sales between now and the 1st of September.
So who's on their way out of Chelsea?
So many names. I'll rattle through them. Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall looks like he's on his way to Everton. Everton and Chelsea have agreed a deal that's worth £29 million, including performance-related add-ons. We reported earlier that Fulham had been looking at Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall earlier on in this transfer window. Looks like he's on his way now to Everton.
It's not worked out for him there, is it, at Chelsea?
Yes and no. I mean, we thought it would, didn't we? Because Enzo Maresca was his manager at Leicester City. Didn't probably get the opportunities he was expecting to get. But there's so many players at Chelsea that he's going to compete with. And at the start of the window, he wasn't one of those names that we expected to leave Chelsea. We thought that he was going to stay. But given the number of players that they've bought and the interest that has been generated in him, Chelsea probably reluctantly have accepted this deal with Everton. Armando Broja, he's still a Chelsea player. He's another player who could be on his way out of Stamford Bridge. Burnley remain in talks with Chelsea over a deal for the striker. There's a broad agreement, we're told, on many aspects of this deal. It's just the structure of that deal that needs to get ironed out between the two clubs. Personal terms over a 5-year contract, we believe, are not expected to be a problem. And there seems to be a willingness from the player and both clubs to get this deal over the line.
Does he score enough goals for clubs to be interested in him?
He had that fantastic period, didn't he, with Southampton, particularly in the first half of that season on loan for Southampton, which has carried quite a lot of weight. That's shown he has been able to score goals in the Premier League. He's had terrible injury problems, though, and probably hasn't had the run of games that he would have wanted. If he can get a fresh start and move away from Chelsea on a permanent basis, maybe that might help as well. Give him a home, give him a bit of stability that he knows he's going to be at a certain club for a certain amount of time, with a manager and a club who are going to say, you're our main guy, we want you to start every single game. So maybe that will help someone like Armando Broja to really kickstart his career again and maybe show the form that he did when he played for Southampton. Burnley aren't stopping there with regard to Chelsea players either, because they are close to signing Leslie Ugachukwu. That permanent deal is now agreed. He's agreed a 5-year contract in principle. We think in the next 24 to 48 hours, Ugachukwu will have a medical. They're not the only players who are potentially leaving Chelsea. Mark Guiu, we were speaking about last week, he was supposed to have a medical at Sunderland. I think the flight got postponed, but Keith Downey, our reporter up in the North East, said that hasn't impacted on the deal at all. He is still expected to join Sunderland, and they're also listening to offers for Raheem Sterling, who was on loan at Arsenal last season. He's come back to Stamford Bridge for now, but clearly is not part of the plans under Enzo Maresca, and Carney Chukwuemeka as well. There are a few German clubs who are interested in him.
That's a load of players. Do they have to do that? Do they have to offload these players?
You know what? Financially, they'll probably want to do it just to put themselves in a good position for future transfer windows. But I think just for squad size more than anything else, Chelsea won't want to work with the squad where they've got a set of 20 to 25 players on one side of the training pitch and a load of other players who aren't involved away from the main first team squad. So I think Enzo Maresca will want to work with the squad that he knows is going to be available for him every week.
Yeah, absolutely. James, Dharmesh mentioned Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. What's the latest on him?
Well, things are looking slightly better for Everton now. We spoke last week and David Moyes was very unhappy, wasn't he, on the US pre-season tour, because he said players are turning down Everton. They don't want to sign for Everton. He wants to sign up to 10 players in this transfer window. So it looks like Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall will be on his way. So we'll add competition at centre-back and left-back. Now, at the same time, Chelsea agree with UEFA to balance the books. and balance their transfer spending this summer. They were fined by UEFA earlier on this summer, as were Aston Villa, and they've agreed to certain financial measures to be in place. They're unable to register new players to play in Europe unless they have a positive transfer balance by the end of the transfer window. So basically they need to show they've made more money from player sales than they've spent on signing players, and that is why there is a real priority in terms of outgoings in this window as well.
There's a long list as well. I'll quickly run through some of the live ones at the moment with regard to Chelsea. Keane and Dewsbury Hall. We told you earlier on in the window that Fulham were having a look at him, but it looks like now Everton are in the driving seat, firmly in the driving seat, because Everton have agreed.
Chelsea's board is said to be working around the clock to finalize paperwork before making an official club announcement. Xavi Simons, currently on loan at RB Leipzig from Paris Saint-Germain, has been closely monitored by top clubs across Europe. Chelsea have now moved swiftly, outpacing rivals to secure the services of the 21-year-old attacking midfielder known for his creativity, flair, and technical brilliance. Meanwhile, Alejandro Garnacho, one of Manchester United's brightest young talents, is reportedly keen on a fresh challenge. Sources suggest Chelsea have offered a long-term project that appeals to the Argentine winger, who is excited about linking up with a young and dynamic squad at Stamford Bridge. As Chelsea prepares to welcome these two exciting prospects, Noni Madueke, nicknamed Gogo by fans, is reportedly nearing an exit. The 22-year-old winger has struggled for consistency and could leave the club either on loan or a permanent deal to make room for the incoming stars.